Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to our post-rotation finance guide series. In case you missed our first episode talking about all cards from Kaladesh you should buy right now, you can click the link on the screen and check that out. In this video, we're focusing on all things Aether Revolt. If you want to know the best cards to buy from the set right now, I got you back. Prices for everything will be in the video, and if you want to purchase any of the cards we talk about here, you can click the first link in the description. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, remember hit that like button right down there. It helps out a lot. We're going to start off with a huge financial target, Heroic Intervention. This card is an absolute house in creature-based decks, huge blanket of protection in Commander, and even a little bit in Modern recently. Heroic Intervention is one of those cards that will stand the test of time in Commander forever. Token decks like Tristani value creatures like Atraxa, and tribal decks like Arabo. I actually cannot believe this card is still $4.75. I actually can't. You're looking at one of the biggest sleepers in the entire set, one of those staples that has to be reprinted constantly to control the price. Commander staple for sure. Now, given enough time, this will become one of the most played green cards in the entire Commander format. I guarantee it. Buy this card. It's under $5. That's kind of nuts. Buy it if you need it. Rishkar's Expertise is another green card I want to talk about because if you want to talk spec, this one's lucrative as heck. Not only is a card drawn green, which is valuable beyond reason in Commander, but it also lets you cast something for free after drawing all those cards. You're looking at a mini Genesis wave up in here. Rishkar's Expertise is in Xenagos, God of Revels, Yidris, Selvala, Maelstrom Wanderer, and a lot more. These are high-profile commanders. It's a great sign for a card's playability in the format. And at only $2.60, you cannot go wrong here. Foils are only $6. For a card that's spreading across Commander like a wildfire, the Expertise is cheap, but the price is moving. Already triple what it cost a few months ago. Don't wait on this card. It's still reasonably costed and will only go higher if not reprinted. Changing gears for a second, Brawl Chief of Compliance is one of the most powerful cards in Modern. That's not a joke. This is not me being hyperbolic. The addition of Brawl to Modern Storm single-handedly brought it back from the brink of obscurity. Not only is Brawl a must-include in the Modern Storm deck, the deck is also really cheap. It's the cheapest Tier 1 Modern deck by far. At barely above $100 now, Modern Storm can win tournaments on the back of Brawl's insane abilities. At $5.50 right now, that may seem a bit high, but he wasn't hit at all after rotation, and for good reason. He will keep increasing in price solely due to his Modern play, and a card like this doesn't get reprinted all that often. So unless he comes back in a Commander product, we likely aren't seeing him for a while. And none of this takes into account his Commander play. Kess, Mizzix, Talrand. The dude gets around. Brawl isn't the cheapest spec on this list, but if you need him, do not wait. His price isn't going anywhere but up. I do have some super cheap targets for you if you're on a super budget. The first is SRAM Senior Edificer. This is not a card that's going to be $20 next year, but it is literally $1 right now, and that's way too low not to mention. Auras, equipment, vehicles, these are all real strategies in Commander, and casual. That's right, can't forget about the casual player either. SRAM fits into any of these tribal-like strategies perfectly. Ural for auras, Kemba for equipment, Apollo for vehicles. These are easy auto-includes for SRAM, and again, at only $1, how can you go wrong? Plus, this card is very specific. So unless we see another Commander precon that falls into the three aforementioned strategies, SRAM is going up slowly for a long time. Better to pay $1 right now and $4 for foils than $5 later on and $10 for foils. Basically the motto I live by. Another cheap Commander card we're looking at is Yahenni Dying Partisan. SRAM has a lot of appeal, but Yahenni has way more. Yahenni fits into a plethora of Commander strategies, from Tribal Vampires and Edgar Markov, sacrifice decks like Mariner Carador, or simply counter synergy strategies in Marchesa the Black Rose. Yahenni does a lot and fits into a lot. Gets counter, sacks creatures, endures removal spells, is a vampire, benefits from edict spells. I mean, the guy's really a jack of all trades. Which is why I find it particularly awesome that he's still $1 on TCG Player right now with foils at $3.50. With widespread appeal and a low price point and being a rare from a small set, I think picking up Yahenni right now is a good call. Another card that won't be $20 next year, but one that will be more than $1 guaranteed. It's $1, just get him, jeepers. Let's move our focus away from Commander for but a moment. Fatal Push, one of the most infamous removal spells printed in recent history, is from Aether Revolt. It also took a bit of a hit after rotation, not so much of a hit as to destroy it, but enough to level out its price for the time being. Played extensively in both Modern and Legacy, I think we can all agree that Fatal Push is here to stay. And in some ways, it may go the way of Path to Exile, where copies are crazy expensive, no matter how many times you reprint the thing. But right now, at this very moment, Fatal Push is under $4. It was printed as an F&M promo, that's true. There was also a single copy in the Counter Surge Challenger deck, also true. But come on, that's nowhere near enough supply to keep this price suppressed. Whether it's Grixis Control in Legacy or any black deck in Modern, Fatal Push will always have value, which is why now is a great time to get it, while the price has plateaued a bit. Take advantage. Now is that time. It isn't going to stay here for long. You know who's opening Aether Revolt anymore? No one. That's who. Under $4 each is a bargain for the competitive constructed scene, easily, no question. Next up is Metallic Mimic. What used to be an incredibly expensive card in Standard for some time has fallen off a lot thanks to rotation and tribal decks becoming less dominant. The Mimic has dropped to under $5 for the first time in over a year, I think, maybe longer. We all know the value in tribal cards, and the Mimic is a tribal card without color identity. I like to compare this to Adaptive Automaton, not mechanically because they're actually quite different, but financially. Adaptive Automaton is around $3 right now, thanks to a key reprint in Explorers of Ixalan. Before that, the card was almost $10. Metallic Mimic is going to go the same way over time. Expect a steady increase from its $4 price tag right now to about $10 in a few years' time. A solid tribal investment that won't go out of style thanks to the lack of color identity. Good card to pick up right now if you need them at a great price. Juicy Mythic Rare time. One of my favorite targets for this type of video is Planar Bridge. My goodness, is this card being slapped on right now. Holy butts. It is expensive to cast and expensive to activate, but it has no color identity. And in Commander, this ability is legit broke as heck. Searching your library for any permanent card and it goes directly onto the battlefield? Come on, it's absolutely outrageous. And I'm actually baffled that this hasn't risen above its current price tag of $3. $3 for a Mythic Rare from a small set that can go into any Commander deck ever. It's a huge bomb in Duretti, Atraxa, Omnath, Lucas, and Mana, or Kozilek. I mean, it goes everywhere. As far as purely financial specs go, it's really difficult to argue against Planar Bridge at $3. Like, it's really difficult. So don't argue against me. Just get it if you need it. This next card, I feel like I'm in an alternate universe where I'm the only one who likes this, and maybe that's true, but I feel the desperate need to talk about it. Herald of Anguish. I actually love this card. I love it in Glissa the Trader, I love it in Breya, I love it in Sidri. This is a card out of left field in Commander that players are never expecting. This doesn't fit into what artifact strategies are normally trying to do, but it's a house. I promise you it's a house, and I will campaign for Herald of Anguish until the end of time, because I am positive this card is being underrated beyond reason right now, and it's literally $1. It's $1. So if you're skeptical or just want to cover your own basis, pick up a copy, just one. It's $1. What could it hurt? For peace of mind, $1 isn't asking much. Just, I promise this card is good. Now, for my least favorite part of this video, I need to tell you about two cards that you've missed the train on. These next two cards, you're not going to make money off of these. Their prices are already ballooned so much that if you need them, you should buy them, but don't expect to get them for cheap and don't expect to sell them for a bunch. The first card is Paradox Engine. Yeah, the card's good. Everyone knows that the card is good, and that's the problem. From late 2017, this has been sneaking up in price slowly. Didn't even need to rotate to start climbing, and now it's above $15. That's not a buy-in price. That's a supply-demand price. That's where Paradox Engine deserves to be. It isn't being slept on. It isn't being hidden or forgotten by anyone. If you want it, buy it because it'll never go lower, but it also won't grant you crazy returns like some of these other cards will. The second card in this depressing list is Walking Ballista. Again, I'm sorry, but look at this graph. The card's price is everywhere, and it's been in the spotlight for over a year now. Sitting at a bit above $15, the train has left on this card. The train left 6 months ago, to be honest, then again a month after that. Walking Ballista is nuts, a powerful card in Vintage, Modern, and even Legacy. No one is ignoring this card, and I don't think it makes for a good spec. This has reprint vulnerability up the wazoo, and I strongly believe its current price is the right price for it. That being said, until it is reprinted, I think it'll go up very slowly over time like clockwork. The difference between this card and the ones on the list is that I believe you can buy this card for nearly the same price in a year, whereas the cards on the list, they might double or triple by then. Don't expect it to do something crazy, and don't expect a buyout since there are literally thousands of copies on TCG Player right now. Get it if you need it, don't get it expecting a huge return. And that's going to do it for our Aether Revolt post-rotation finance guide. What do you think? How are you feeling about the set now that it's rotated? Any cool specs I didn't mention from the set that you think I should have? Or maybe some personal specs you'd like to share with the community so they can all get in on the cheap. We're all in this together, am I right? Anywho, I hope these have been helpful to you so far. Click the first link in the description for all the cards I mentioned in this video, and stay tuned for more finance guides. Amonkhet is up next, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. I firmly believe these cards are the ones you are going to want to buy as fast as possible, but at the very top of the list, Heroic Intervention. I firmly believe this card is meant for great things in Commander. Best part, it's under $5 each right now on TCG Player, so if you need a copy, click the link on the screen. It helps the channel, brings right to the card, and a win-win for everyone. Oh, enjoy! Or maybe some personal specs you'd like to share with the community so they can get in on the cheap. We're all in this together, am I right? Anywho, I hope you have enjoyed the last paragraph.